Stuart Greaves was part of the International House of Prayer in Kansas City from its beginning in 1999. He was the leader of the night watch from midnight to 6 in the morning for 20 years. One time I was sitting in the prayer room doing the set at 4 in the morning. It was really hard to engage. I saw Stuart from the corner of my eye. As he got up from his chair and started walking, I thought to myself, what if he's coming to talk to me? I closed my eyes and hoped he would pass by me and keep going. But to my horror, he tapped me on the shoulder. I opened my eyes and said to him, "No." He looked back at me surprised that I was not following him into the side room. He looked at me bewildered and mouthed, "Come on." I shook my head negatively. He mouthed one more time, but I responded the same way. Appearing to be frustrated, he sat right next to me and faced me. "Come on, Anna." He started to plead and said, "Please, Anna, please. Don't make this hard." He talked using gentle words, but his tone and spirit was extremely demanding. I felt so pressured as if I did not have an option. Even so, I stood my ground and shook my head. Stuart said, "Anna, I am one of the leaders at IHOP and I am on the board of trustees." He continued pressuring me by saying, "Come on, Anna." I said, "You can't force me to go into the side room." He responded back and said, "I'm not forcing you, I'm trying to convince you." I started feeling very uncomfortable as if I just wanted to leave. Then, when he would not leave me alone, I became frightened. His gigantic presence towered over my 80-pound body. In that moment, I was so frightened he would do something to me physically if I did not follow his orders. I caved. The next thing I know, Stuart and I were alone in the side room. First he gave background by saying, "There's a chain of command that is not happening and it needs to happen. I have been involved from the get-go of this whole thing." I said, "I thought you were going to ask me a question." "I might not answer. My question is, are you the one in the middle of the reconciliation?" This is when I stood up and told him, "I'm not answering," and walked out of the side room. When I left the prayer room, my whole body was shaking. I cried for an hour straight. I was so scared because his strength was used to instill fear in me. He was the biggest senior leader, while I was one of the smallest people at IHOP. I came home sobbing, barely able to walk in the door. I was hysterical as I wept on my sister's arms, feeling ashamed and violated emotionally. This entire situation with leadership made me depressed and weep more than I ever have in my entire life. To this day, I have nightmares about Stuart trying to corner me.